What's on my mind? First, let me say to the creator of all things known and unknown, I love you, I praise you, I honor you, I thank you. Let it be your words and not my words. Victor. What's on my mind today? I have a lot. To my TikTok followers, I want to tell you that you can see this whole segment on YouTube. Go to Victor Weeks at YouTube or see me on my Facebook page, Victor Weeks. Last week, TikTok canceled so many of the different segments. And I'm just doing 3 minutes real quick for you and just to let you know what's going on. The great news, the fabulous Dr. Weeks will be with us in 2 weeks. Dr. Weeks will be back with us. Also, I am also going to ask my older sister, evangelist Joyce Smith, to come on with us. She's fire and brimstone, and she's real old religion, and we're going to bring her on, and we're going to talk subjects that is dear to everybody's heart. Next week, my topic is Michelle Wu. Next week, we will be talking about Michelle Wu, the mayor of Boston. Everybody tune in TikTok. But what's on my mind and what I'm talking today, racism in Boston is still alive. We had great pushback, people calling me all kind of different things of what was said last week. I even had a person who came to me, and since I named 3 names, I said I wasn't going to name no names, but last week I named 3 names. So I'm always going to use those 3 people's names going forward. So a person came to me and said, Mike Bro, Danny Nee, and Norman Parks, they're not racist. They're just misguided. And he stood there and tried to, with a straight face, try to bring forward that message. And when I got finished with him, he just looked on the ground and walked away. So, to Mike Bro, Mr. Need, Mr. Parks, your messenger came and delivered the message. But you are who you are. So getting back on racism in Boston, still live, well, and breathing. People, I'm going to talk about authority. Remember, in my other segments, I talk about what is power, what is authority, and what is government. Please go back there and go to YouTube, and you can see all the topics. Go listen to that, because you have to listen to that one to understand what's going on. I think season 2, I want to say episode 21. I talk about in a certain district how a particular person was having drug parties. I think I claimed that one as drugs, crime, violence, drug violence, and something. And I talk about a individual who kept on using that facility for his drug parties. Then I believe I also went into, maybe that was episode 24. So 21, I think I talk about the supervisors who failed the drug test 3 times and still got promoted. About the supervisor who took a drug test and purchased a fake penis and filled it up with somebody else's piss, who came up dirty. And I talked about credibility. Where is credibility and what is racism? We, all of us, black, white, yellow, green, know that white people live under privilege in America. And this privilege, the way it's practiced in America, crossed the line into racism. I'm going to say, my feeling is that Mr. Bro and Mr. Need crossed that line of privilege to it's a form of racism. Mr. Pac, he's not a stupid man. All right? I'm going to put a disclaimer here. Mr. Parks is a good friend of mine. Maybe not now, but I still consider him a good friend of mine. And to the other people, you have to understand what it is that I'm doing. This is bigger than me, and it's bigger than him. And I said it to you all before. This is not about me. I'm not making no money. I'm not looking for no fame. I'm not looking for anything but a better life for my children and my grandchildren. And for Mr. Parks, this is for your children, your grandchildren, and for every person of color, children, grandchildren, and generation after generation. If we don't push back and we don't say enough is enough, it's not going to change by itself. So getting back on topic. I talked about this friendsism, this familyism, and privileges. I known this for maybe 3 months now. But I don't like to come on here and say things till I have confirmation by 1, 2, 3, 4 people, till I know that it's fact. I talked about a particular person, a white supervisor who failed the drug test 3 times. Now, for every person of color, for every person that bro, the superintendent, want to suspend, discipline you, want to write you up, and take you to City Hall, welcome that. Welcome that with a smile. Because when you go into City Hall, it is upon you to show where the biases and where the racism is. They tell us you cannot get promoted if you have an incident for 1 year EI, Mr. Kaiser, when he was going for B-19, they kept him from that. Countless other minorities, when you want to go for promotion, they look for something to put on your record. People of color. But in District 10, they promoted that white foreman while he's in the drug program to foreman. District 4, they promoted another white guy who's doing all the drug parties in 4 to position of authority. While under suspicion in the program, under discipline, they still getting promoted. Now, the same supervisor, which is in the program, which will have to be tested every month, his piss came up dirty once again. 4 field drug tests that I know of. So, they said Mr. Need is a drug law. Mr. Need is the one that call you to take your drug test. Mr. Need is the one that's supposed to make sure that the rules are kept. But Mr. Need has a boss. He has a boss that he has to report to. Mr. Bro. So Mr. Bro, who is quick to discipline people of color, who is quick to terminate people of color, Mr. Bro, who is quick to discipline people of color, Mr. Bro, who heard a white man get on the radio, said the N-word 1,001 times, but didn't hear nothing. Mr. Bro, where's accountability? Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. You all are white, we are black. So is that the definition of racism? Favoritism? Friendship-ism? What is it? What is it? This is our reality. This is what we living in. Listen, people, it's not going to change because human resources, they know the rules. He got suspended. Listen, I knew what was up when I didn't hear him on the radio. I measured this time that the radio got quiet from District 4. I knew. We all knew. But you know what? People that you believe that's in your corner, they come and bring me facts. I have folders of information I have yet to put on this page. I don't know. You know, I've been saying this for 2 years, and the truth is they actually don't care. They do what they want. They say what they want. Until we stop trying to be individuals and come together and show them that we, as a collective, equal power. They don't have no power. All their power and authority come from us. We together is power. But me here saying this and talking on this is right now just entertainment for everybody. Let it stop being entertainment. Let it be serious. Or do not complain. When Mr. Bro come, put you on the discipline, don't run to me and tell me your story. Because you had a chance to make change. You need to act. We all work there. We all know. Man, the other day, I was driving. Police officer pulled me over. And what he said to me, I saw your video. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate your video and I really like it. I had to smile. He said, keep up the good work. I grew up with all the firemen. They're watching. I have a couple people from City Hall that I didn't even know. And once I start speaking, they're watching. So we have enough people that work for the city that our voice can and should be here. Now to Public Works. We saw what the union is trying to give us. I have spoken to other people in other departments, and they are getting paid. I spoke to one gentleman. He worked out of City Hall. His department got hazard pay, $12,000, a check, separate from the contract, separate from everything else, just for hazard pay, $12,000. And he is not like us. Us that's in Public Works. Us that's in the police department. Us that's in the fire department. Us that's in EMS. We're essential personnel. We have to be on the street with people we have no idea what they are doing, who they are, and what they're about. We have to take that back with us to our families every day. Why? To keep a roof over our head and food on our table. The money was given to the city for us. $24,000 per person. That particular department got half. They got 12. But Acme, our union, want to come and do us a favor and give us 1,000 plus 2 days off. Why? Because public works is majority black. They don't care about you. They do not respect you in any form or fashion. To my police brethren, firefighters, EMS, your position is stronger than us in public works. They have to listen and they have to hear you. But for us, we have to fight every way. So as you go up the hill, please turn around and lend a helping hand to us. Because together, we work as one unit. Recap. Racism is still alive in the city of Boston. Supervisor failed his 4th drug test that I know of. Don't believe me? Those are easy facts to look up. Easy facts. They can't hide those facts. How many times he was in the drug program? He failed when he was in the roving gang. 1 time. He failed just the other day before he got promoted. While he failed and he supposed to be rehabbing, when it was time for him to get reinstated, he came up dirty again. So he had to do a double 30 days. Actually, supposed to be suspension. He's supposed to lose his job. And he just failed 3 or 4 months ago. 4 times. Nothing you can do about it. Has to be public record. Human resources know about it, but they don't care. Mr. Bro know about it. He loves him. Why? Because he showed Mr. Bro and Mr. Need that he will dominate and do whatever they tell him to do to any black person that work underneath him. What I'm talking about, the time that he wrote up Mr. Torrance and took a picture. We're all the same grade, but he's willing to take a picture and get this black guy suspended. He can't do no wrong from that point on. Racism. Well, it's obvious to me. After that, he got promoted. After that, he was on the fast track. Failed the drug test 3 more times. Don't get fired. What are the rules? What are the regulations? So anybody of color that's listening to me and they bring you for discipline, ask them, is it only black people get disciplined? What's going on? What is going on? And next week, I'll be talking about Michelle Wu. The week after that, the fabulous Dr. Weeks will be here with us. And we can really get going. Okay? So all the other people with all the things that you have brought to me, there's a time and a season for everything. I promise you, I'll get to them. But there's a time and a season for everything. And that's what's on my mind.